Friday night, Cisco Rivera returns to UFC Fight Pass, and he looks to settle the score a little bit with the California kid. It's combat jiu-jitsu, and Cisco, I will say that you're one of the hardest hitters I've ever had the pleasure of calling a fight. I don't know if that is going to transfer to palm strikes, but you're going to get your opportunity nonetheless. How did this fight or combat jiu-jitsu match even come about?
Actually, you're right. Hit me up and asked because we were talking about a rematch for a while, and obviously he stopped fighting, so we really didn't have a chance to Marlo, stop. Sorry, my dog's
Is that
making
a
all this.
training partner? What's going on? It sounds like an
Oh,
ogre.
yeah, that's my little Frenchie's being a menace right now.
It,
But anyways,
it sounds
yeah,
like you have a bulldog choke on him right now.
What, you got to
no,
go there, dude?
he's
Come
helping me
on, Johnny.
with
That's
my
below the belt.
jiu-jitsu game. No, but he hit me up and we were supposed to do a rematch eventually, but it never happened. So when he announced that he was doing that combat jiu-jitsu, he hit me up and asked me if I was interested. And of course, me being a competitor I am, and always wanted to get a little rematch with them, whether it's jiu-jitsu or combat jiu-jitsu or any type of fighting. Of course, I said yes. So then I accepted it, and then we were here now. So obviously, it's a combat jiu-jitsu. It's not an MMA fight, but it's still something that we both, train in. Obviously, we train in pretty much for anything. What's the difference between a closed fist and an open palm? Obviously, a huge difference, but still, I feel like you can still hurt somebody with that open fist. If you do it correctly.
Well, the irony is in mixed martial arts, you're not allowed to throw open-handed palm strikes technically because could get poked in the eye. That's how your first fight really kind of ended. I mean, there was the aforementioned bulldog choke from Faber, but I mean, he even acknowledged it that he felt like he kind of owed you one. You're going to get your opportunity to put hands on him. Have you trained palm strikes?
Yeah, I have before. I had a buddy who did it once before. Jake Babian. He's a local guy out here, and uh, I knew he was doing it, so I kind of like got into it a little bit, and I did a little bit of research. And it's kind of like the same thing when ground and pound. Obviously, just open palm, looking for submissions, a little bit of MMA. So I've been doing a lot of MMA training, obviously. Just without the stand up and the kicks, and doing a little bit of research. And it looks like fun. It looks like something that I want to be able to say that I've done in my career. I've done everything else, so why not try the combat jiu-jitsu and give it a shot?
Yeah, and we're going to get to see you do it with a UFC Hall of Famer, someone you shared the octagon with. Johnny LaQuastro, I'm curious if you think that Uriah Faber is going. I mean, you can't really trade, but I mean, we saw him in the Jeff Glover CJJ match, Johnny. He put hands on Glover. You think he's going to try to do that with Cisco?
Oh, I guarantee he's going to try to do that with Cisco, but we all know Cisco is the more powerful striker, which, if you don't mind, Cisco, I want to go back to your fight with Uriah. You came in as some would say a heavy underdog, and many were saying, oh, he has to fight the perfect fight to beat Uriah Faber. There's no such thing as a perfect fight, but you were fighting the most effective fight possible. Your takedown defense was flawless. Most would say you won the first round. Your counter strikes were hitting. He didn't have a successful takedown until after the eye poke. Do you feel like you were well on your way to a victory that night?
Yeah, I think that was one of my biggest, I would say, like career changes as far as like, because he was ranked number 3, and I think I was ranked number 10 or 11 or something like that. So I knew if I got that win, I would have took over his ranking. And, I've been top 5 for sure, and that could have led me to a title shot. That could have led me to a new contract. That could have led me to more money, obviously. And obviously it didn't turn out that way. It is what it is. But I felt like that was like one of my biggest, maybe I could say like all moments in my UFC career, which I was looking good that first round. My confidence was already building. I was excited. I was, after I came out of that first round and sat in the corner, I was telling my coaches, "Oh, I got this. Like it's like he's not gonna be able to take me down. I'm just gonna pick him apart and just hopefully I catch him with something, knock him out, or you know, uh, win by the judges' scorecards." But I was so confident, and I was like in shock when that eye poke happened, It's really not Faber's fault. We kind of just, we don't really pay attention. I feel like it's more the ref's fault. He saw that I covered my eye and didn't really acknowledge it. I think Faber didn't punch me not one time the whole round. So I feel like me covering my eye was, he should obviously knew like that was not a punch. He didn't punch me the whole fight, and all the punches he hit, I've never covered my eye and would just fall. It was kind of like an obvious thing, and it sucks that our referee at that time didn't catch it. To kind of just give me a break to recover it and let me continue.
It is kind of surprising that he was not able to see why you were covering up your eye, but nonetheless, you have a great opportunity this Friday. It's going to be sold out at the Hard Rock Live, so we're excited to call it.
Yeah, yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. It's something new, something I'm excited for. I kind of get a chance to showcase my jiu-jitsu. People really have never seen me do any ground and jiu-jitsu most my whole career, but you'd be surprised on how good I am on the ground and how much, I roll with black belts and brown belts, and they're surprised. They're like, you're probably like, they always say like, you're probably a brown or black belt from how we roll. And I just never got my belt. I was never, I never cared about that. I cared more about trying to knock somebody's head off. I think that was always my passion. Either you knock me out or I knock you out. I think that's how I've always fought. So it's good to kind of, what, I'm older now. I ain't trying to get my head clocked in. I want to do a little bit of ground and see if maybe I can submit Faber and surprise everybody.
Well, I mean, if you get a submission in combat jiu-jitsu, it would be the first submission win of your maybe combat sports career. No submission wins in MMA. I've watched you separate people from this realm of reality multiple times with your strikes. But I mean, is that going to be the focus? Like, are you hunting for a submission when this
Yeah,
match hits the floor, or are you trying to do ground and pound?
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to sub him. I think I'm looking forward to like trying to catch him with something. I think he'll be worried about me trying to hit him and me just trying to like not let him get anything on me. Me trying to just get position and trying to slap him up or trying to palm strike him a couple of times. But he's gonna be surprised when I'm trying to sub him a couple of times and looking for different submissions. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Francisco Rivera, one half of your combat jiu-jitsu main event of A1 Combat. It goes down this Friday live on UFC Fight Pass. Cisco, appreciate the time and best of luck. We'll see you here in Sacramento.
Thank you. See you guys. Appreciate you guys.